Hello there and welcome back to Roman Empire. Last time we took, well, basically most of Central Europe, and this time we'll probably end up, I guess you could say more or less finishing this game as I'm more or less content or happy. What I was planning, as you know, is basically just to form the Roman Empire, try to take back their historical lands as far as it's possible. And I'm pretty sure that we actually have taken at least most of the lands. We should probably take the borders here, take Cyprus, and so forth. But I'm probably done in about 15 years from now. Then I can more or less almost guarantee that this game is more or less over with, thanks to the fact that I've done what I wanted. But also, as you know, I'm thinking of doing a EU4 port of of this game, simply because it's I would find it interesting, I would find it fun, and I'm pretty sure that it would be a good experience in terms of getting experience from EU4 to actually keep on playing, to make progress. And also, since I'm not planning actually on playing too much longer, it's not really a difficult or problematic to give my sons or other family members some extra land which they can benefit from. I could potentially also go that extra mile and simply the province of Egyptus. The dark times are over for the people of Egyptus, as Roman rule has been restored to the province once more. The land of the pharaohs served well as the breadbasket of the old empire, and will again become a vital cornerstone and continuous prosperity of the glorious Roman state. Long live the empire. But yeah, as I wanted to say, I want to check out how the Roman Empire works, because certainly the fact that I'm doing a I guess you should call it a challenge game on the EU4. Well, we'll be doing all the challenges, and one of them is Basileus, which basically is take the Byzantine, reform the Roman Empire, and so forth. I'll have to see what I'll actually do, but as for this game, it's mostly done. I don't really find it interesting to roll over the rest of my opponents for the next decade or so, or it'll only take me a couple of 50 years at most to take their mainstay. But also I have the problem with the fact that I chose a crappy heir, so I actually have to try and assassinate this kid. So potentially I will actually use the assassination button, possibly get what's the name of that? Name of that goddamn Kinslayer trait. So all in all, we have to see how this actually plays out. But I'm a little bit unsure about, as I said, what will be happening, what I'll be doing, and we'll basically have to take things as they come. But enough chit chat. I'll be taking these lands. Once I have, I'll see how we're doing, and we'll plan from then. But as you know, I'm mostly making these videos because it's fun, because it's interesting, because I like to get input on my games. I like to get advice, basically get some input from other than myself on what I should do and what would be the optimal play, so to speak. So we'll see how that turns out. But for now, as you know, the plan is simply to restore the Roman Empire. I might pick up the game again at a later date. Nothing that says that I shouldn't or wouldn't. So we'll have to see how this actually plays out. But for now, I'll be handing basically everything over to this guy, I think. Yeah, I'll simply create a great Doge of Jerusalem. Probably have him create the kingdom of Jerusalem. Would probably also be a possibility here. But we'll see how it goes. I'll simply be conquering lands, taking lands, and then we'll see what we end up with. We have a little bit of an interesting situation here that potentially would allow me to want to play a little bit further, and that is this kid here. He's actually a genius. Of course, he's a bastard, but we'll go ahead and legitimize him, and hopefully I'll be able to make him my designated heir. Although it is very, very unlikely that I'll live long enough for that to actually be possible. But still, I need to kill the guy who's currently heir. I'll actually have to live till I'm 86 then, but considering that I've lived this far, it's actually a kind of a possibility. And of course we can always even go for the assassination button if really needed. So we'll have to see how we actually turn out here. I have more or less Sweden actually took this province after it took this province from them, so that kind of pisses me off. But still, we are making some headway here, and we'll be going after the well, Bavaria now once we can. So I'll be shipping some troops over to Mallorca here. We'll be taking it, and I'll make the new guy boss there, I guess you could say, and hopefully we'll make some progress. But as you can see, we're taking most of the known lands. We only need Bavaria as Frisia. I took a province, of course, I gained a new one thanks to having a small county there, but it annoys me to a great extent that when you kill off a king's last county, he gains or the castle he holds, or whatever he holds in another, he gains everything, as you can see here. So we'll see how this actually turns out, but for now we'll be aiming to take Bavaria, then we'll be going after Frisia. I killed another Doge of mine, and that's basically just because, as you can see, he's second in line, and I'm pretty sure that's simply because of the fact that he holds a castle and not a city as his main. So I'm a little bit unsure if I actually need to kill off each and single member of the other families to make sure, or basically kill off the other families until they have a member that's underage in each of them, which would be a pain in the ass to actually pull off. So we'll have to see how this actually turns out, but as of now, that seems to be my best bet. So we'll see how it turns out, but just don't point that thing at me. So we're already in the process of killing someone, and can't really complain about that. Defeat, yeah, I did actually send the armies the other way, but still we'll go up and kick their asses, so it doesn't really matter. And we'll also, as you know, go after everything here. Doge died. Who was their heir? Let's see here. Now he's actually the heir to the Roman Empire, and I don't really know why, which is kind of scary. But still, we're plotting to kill all of my enemies, so to speak. We're plotting or assassinating all of the people who can cause me any issues. Just basically, we'll be bypassing the peace deals. And other than that, there aren't really that much to see here. As you can see, we'll be killing him. It doesn't really take that long time, so potentially I could kill off these families before you could basically say dead. So we'll see how this turns out, but for now we're looking pretty good. I guess it's time for a small update. As you can see here, we can now create the Kingdom of Jerusalem, and we'll actually go ahead and do so. Most Syrian Republic of Jerusalem. Unfortunately, no real interesting things happened. We just gained some extra prestige and piety, and also my guy is surprisingly still alive and kicking. And also, as you can see here, the kid that I would prefer would inherit if I have to continue is coming along nicely as well. Also, we have more or less taken everything here now. All that remains is Cyprus itself. Unfortunately, we have Levi's raised, and we're also not done with these guys. But as you can see here, they're currently at war with the Prince Archbishop of Seville, and he'll most likely take the remains of Murcia, and then we'll take the remains of Granada. So we'll see how this actually turns out, but we are closing in on the end here. Unfortunately, it has been interesting, it has been fun, but unfortunately, all good things come to an end. But I'm not really concerned. We have a lot of power, we have a lot of men, we basically have a lot of land as well, and as you can see, I have more than enough money, so I can actually start assassinating whomever is a problem child and doesn't actually want to allow me to have my truces, and just keep on going like that. But as you can see, I do have a lot of Syrian Doge and King under me as well, so we'll have to see how this actually turns out. I'm a little bit unsure on the amount of titles I hold myself, but it's a considerable amount, so that shouldn't really worry. I can also create the Empire of Hispania. Don't really want it though, but For those of you who have been watching, you probably have realized by now that this is a brilliant way of more or less bypassing the systems that the new gavel kind has forced upon you. If you are a republic, you can create any title and it will simply become a serene republic, which basically means that you will get everything to your guy if you just kill your way there, just like we did. But we'll have to see. If I end up with this guy, it's not the end of the world, but it could of course get better. Doesn't have any interesting sons either, so we'll have to see how it turns out. But for now, we're okay, I guess I should say. But enough about that. We'll be trying to take the remainders of Africa, and then I think I'll call it a day. But it remains to be seen how this turns out. I can always assassinate the Arabian, as I like to call him, the emperor of the Arabian Empire. I'm stuck here. I'm trying to think what I want to do, and everything just goes full stop. So we'll see how this actually turns out. Constantine Etus is actually in the dungeon. Yeah, so he's actually born in dungeon then. Yeah, it seems like it. Can I ask to ransom prisoner? Good. I'll have to wait till the child is free. I simply want him to inherit the duchy, that's all. I can't actually request her to be freed, which is kind of weird. Nope. Well, that'll have to do wait for another time then. But as you can see, we have more or less full control. There are some extra counties that are being taken here simply because of they are fracturing so much. So we'll see how this actually turns out. But for now, we are, I dare say, in the driver's seat for basically the remainder of the game. All that remains now is to take these lands here, and then I'm pretty much, I dare say, I'm pretty much done then. But we'll have to see how it turns out, and if I'm able to pull it off within this episode, might even end up with another one as well. So we'll see. I have been dragging this out in the longest in terms of what I wanted to show you, but we are more or less at the end, so there's no need to hide anything anymore, so to speak. All that remains is to take these 4 duchies, 1, 2, 3, 4 duchies, and then we are done. So assassinations is probably the way to go. I simply want these guys to finish their war first, I think. Wow, that was not what I wanted to do, but still, we can live with it. You can go and collect taxes in Rome, and since I want to end this quickly, we'll just go for the easy route. I do have enough cash to actually keep on doing this for quite a while. So there we go, as killed, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, the war is still raging, so that's not an issue here. And by hunting down their sources of well, men, I'll also help my vassal in gaining the upper hand here. So all in all, I'm just getting positives out of this. So we'll be assassinating the children. I know I'm horrible for doing that, but still, we'll be doing this to end this quickly, so to speak. So I'll just go ahead and get this done with well, basically this technique or tactic, if you want, and then I'll get back to you. The province of Hispania. The power and influence of the Roman Empire now extend all the way to the old province of Hispania once more. This land had suffered greatly from the constant border skirmishes waged by its bickering Muslim and Catholic lords, but now it may finally know peace again as the Pax Romana settles over the Peninsula. Long live the Empire. I am basically, I think I'm done, more or less. As you can see here, we've taken basically everything here. The only thing that could potentially be ours is this little island, but still, I can live without it because I have some other lands that I shouldn't have. I'm pretty sure the border, Scotland should go around here, so we have Lothian, which we shouldn't, and also we have most likely eaten a little bit too far that way, but still, I'm pretty sure this is acceptable by any standards on a fair enough Roman Empire. I could of course taken a little bit more land in Africa, probably taken a little bit, chewed one line in over here as well. Hungary, we ended up taking some of the provinces, or one that we probably shouldn't have, but still, it will be an interesting map to EU4 port, especially considering the fact that there's a bunch of pagans still running around, and all in all, it will be interesting how this turns out. Scotland, Ireland, Pomerania, Poland, Ruthenia even, and of course the huge Seljuks here, and we also have a small ruse. So we'll see how this actually turn out. But unfortunately, this will most likely be the end of the Roman Empire game. I'll try to viewport it now and see how it looks. We'll probably get a small little video on that tomorrow, and I'll probably upload a video, and you'll get a choice there if I should play it or not. So we'll see how it looks, and then we'll make a decision. So thank you for following this series. Thank you for watching as far as you have, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. If not, please tell me why you haven't. If you have enjoyed it, please tell me why, so I can improve myself. So once again, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again in another series in one of my future videos. So thank you, and I'll see you around.